The Ria Vaya means we are going in Sotho, and it's a new public transport system in South Africa. Recently, the first station, the Joubert station, was completed, and we went to have a look.
The Johannesburg Bus Rapid Transit project is said to cost around 2 billion rand. Bob Stanway, the BRT project manager, says that it will achieve a 70-30 ratio of public transport to private transport use ahead of 2010. The project is already well on its way.
It's being implemented in phases. Okay, so there's a phase which is targeted for the Confederations Cup next year, 2009. There's a phase 1B, as we call it, which is targeted for the 2010 Soccer World Cup, middle of 2010. And there's a full phase 1, which we estimate will be about 2013. But if we look specifically at phase 1A for next year, it's a system of about 25 kilometers running from Regina Mundi in Soweto across to the inner city and across to Ellis Park. It'll also have feeder and complementary routes, but the trunk routes or the physical infrastructure will be on that route, and it's about 25 stations. That's for the Confederations Cup next year. If we take a sort of a step further to 2010, it's a network of about 70 kilometers and about 70 stations. And that network will be much more extensive. It's got routes across to Dobsonville in Soweto, through another route to Parktown via the hospitals and universities, and then a route up to Rosebank in Sandton. So it'll be a much bigger network for the following year. And so, the building blocks go on as it goes forward.
Billions of rand is being invested in South Africa's public transport. The BRT system is expected to transport 430,000 passengers daily. The project has been planned for ultimate convenience for the passengers.
There's physical integration and there's operational integration. Okay, the physical integration has been focused on making sure that the BRT stations, when they are, for example, alongside or above the Gautrain stations, are physically integrated. So if you take the Gautrain station at Park Station, and at Rosebank Station, and at Sandton Station, the BRT stations are integrated into the Gautrain stations, so that one will be able to have physical integration. And also, together with the Rail Commuter Corporation and Metro Rail, there are a number of key commuter rail stations which are also being addressed on that basis. For example, at New Canada Station, Orlando Station, Lenasia Station, there are a number of key stations where the BRT will interact with the Metro Rail SARCC stations. Then the operational integration is a bit more long-term. That's something around the ticket system. And it's quite an important issue because National Department of Transport have come out with a specification for new public transport systems, that they should be implemented with a type of smart card technology that allows interoperability between different systems. And the Gauteng province is also working very hard to ensure that within Gauteng province the various public transport systems can be interoperable. So, for example, our system, and to the best of my knowledge, Gautrain as well, will be implemented with this new type of smart card system that can actually be connected, if you like, between the systems using some sort of back office. So there's every intention that the systems will be interoperable in the sense of paying one fare, and the system itself would calculate that fare if one's changing from BRT to Gautrain, for example.
Making sure the Ria Vaya is safe is very important in order to get the commuters to use this transport system. The BRT plans to use high-floor buses and raised, enclosed central platforms for controlled access and security reasons.
We've got a number of sort of facets of the safety and security. We have a safety and security work stream which is currently developing a whole safety and security strategy in detail, but perhaps I could just explain to you the sort of principles. The one is that we'll have safety and security people at every station, sort of live people able to do something, but the whole system will be covered by CCTV cameras in the stations, around the stations, and between the stations, on the route between the stations. There'll also be CCTV cameras on the buses, but they won't be live feed. They'll be like recorded, that we can milk them, if you like, if there's an incident. And also that will feed back to the BRT Control Centre for the Confederations Cup. The control centre is actually going to be on the 3rd floor of the JRA building, where we are at the moment. And for the 2010 Soccer World Cup, it'll be at a joint command centre which is being established at the Metro Police headquarters at Martindale. And there'll also be a rapid response team. So if let's say the people at the stations are not able to cope with the problems, or there's a problem between the stations, we'll have a proper rapid response team that will be able to respond to any incidents.